Hi all. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic. The constant question that you ask me both on live broadcasts, and in comments on Instagram, and in private messages is, how to get rid of cravings for sweets. Let's talk about it today, although I have already made a video on this topic. Why do you always crave sweets? This means that your body likes to take energy from glucose. When you often eat sweets, your blood sugar levels are constantly high and, accordingly, insulin levels rise. This is how it always happens. By the way, I have a great video on the topic of what is insulin and insulin resistance. Please watch the video, everything is clearly explained with diagrams and pictures. If you constantly eat sweets, insulin is constantly high. Insulin must take glucose from the blood and put it into the cell in order for the energy of ATP to arise there. With consistently high blood sugar, you'll have consistently high insulin, and the recipes of our cells that take in the glucose delivered by insulin begin to fade. This is insulin resistance. What does it lead to? Your blood sugar and insulin levels are high, but there is no energy in the cell. Energy is not delivered there because the receptors cannot receive and deliver it. This is where the constant feeling of hunger arises, the craving for something sweet to eat, of course. What's happening? Sugar and insulin levels rise. Insulin resistance occurs, and this is the diagnosis, and then type 2 diabetes may occur. Diabetics are people who are always hungry, they always want sweets. This needs to be tackled with low-carbohydrate diets. More than 7,000 people have taken my course, Health, Slimness, Youth. I can say that in 2 weeks of a keto diet, your sugar levels will normalize. And then slowly, within 3 months, the level of insulin normalizes. To do this, you need to be on a keto diet for at least 3 months. Craving for sweets disappears in the 3rd week. When can this occur again on a keto diet? If you abuse protein, the body will understand that glucose can be made, and then it will ask you to use simple glucose, that is, sugar. On my course, Health, Slimness, Youth, we clearly calculate the amount of protein for each person so that there is no feeling of hunger. If the protein is not abused, then the feeling of hunger will not arise, and the craving for sweets will disappear. You may develop cravings for sweets when you are stressed. Because you are used to spoiling yourself, and when you feel bad, you reward yourself with sweets. I'm talking to women now. In each of us lives a little girl inside. And they gave us candy to comfort us when we were little. And now you continue to give yourself this candy. It is worth considering. Maybe you should start some other habits than you can praise yourself. For example, buy a new lipstick. Yes, it's more expensive, but it's still much more efficient. Or watch some good movie, or turn on the music and dance and thus cheer yourself up. It is important to try and find this method, but not everyone is ready to do it. We automatically eat candy when stressed, so in my course I recommend taking a natural sedative, for example, passiflora tablets. But if you want, you can take some other pharmacy natural sedative based on herbs and take this drug. This often helps. Also, it can be 5-HTP, it can be tryptophan. These are all biologically active supplements that are absolutely easier to live with. What else do I recommend in order to reduce sugar levels faster on a low-carb diet, normalize insulin and stop eating sweets? Berberine is a wonderful remedy, but it is only sold abroad, unfortunately, but now you can use various delivery options. There are already suppliers from iHerb, despite the fact that we are not yet allowed to do so. Berberine works wonderfully, lowering blood sugar much faster, and it also helps the liver during a low-carb diet. In addition, I also recommend the well-known chromium picolinate. I want to add that chromium does not help everyone, and there are people on whom it does not affect in any way. But it's worth a try. This is an inexpensive and good dietary supplement that will help you reduce sugar cravings. So, is it possible to get rid of sugar cravings if you continue to eat carbohydrates? The answer is no, it is absolutely impossible. If you eat a lot of simple carbohydrates, sugar cravings will only get stronger. For the same reason, I do not recommend the frequent use of sweeteners. And yes, they do not increase blood sugar levels, and yes, they do not increase insulin. However, they reinforce your positive emotions from sweets. So, sooner or later you will give up and use real sugar. Therefore, the amount of sweeteners consumed should also be gradually reduced. I wish you health, dear friends.